Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something, well, a little chilling. A new report's come out, and it looks like those private chats you're having with AI, yeah, they might not be so private after all. So let's just get right to it with the big question. Is someone secretly reading your private AI chats? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a spy movie, right? But here's the crazy part. A really startling investigation just revealed this isn't fiction. For millions of people, this is actually happening. Okay, so this whole story kicks off with a discovery by a cybersecurity firm out of Israel called COE. And what they were doing was just looking into browser extensions, those little tools we all use, probably without a second thought. And they found something that really wasn't supposed to be there. So get this, buried inside a bunch of really popular browser extensions, they found what they're calling a hidden function. And let's be super clear here. This was no accident. This wasn't some bug. This thing was put there on purpose, just this past July. And its purpose was, well, it was designed for one single, really alarming thing: to harvest your conversations on AI platforms. Just let that sink in for a second. Its only job was to secretly listen in and copy everything you're saying to your AI. And we're not talking about some obscure platforms here. This affects pretty much every major AI chatbot you can think of. I mean, look at this list. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Microsoft's Copilot, even the newer players like Grok and Meta AI. Basically, if you're using an AI assistant, there's a really good chance it's on this list. So, the big question is, how does this digital heist actually work? How are they pulling this off? Well, the method is surprisingly simple, but wow, is it effective. Okay, so the heart of the whole operation is this thing called an executor script. The best way to think about it is like a secret little spy or a middleman that the extension sneaks right into the web page you're using. And once it's in there, it has a front row seat. It can see and copy everything you sent to the AI and everything the AI sends back to you. And the whole process is just this clean, four-step operation. It all starts the second you begin a chat. Right then, the extension injects its secret script. That script then copies every single message back and forth. And then, step 4, your data, your private conversation, gets shipped off to some external server somewhere. All right, so we know what's happening and how it's happening. Now, let's name some names. Who's behind all this? And more importantly, which specific extensions do you need to be looking out for? Well, the investigation by KOI traced all of these different extensions back to one single parent company, Urban Cybersecurity. Yep, they're the ones who developed and pushed out all the tools involved in this whole scheme. And here they are, the list of suspects. And just, wow, look at these numbers. The Urban VPN Proxy, that alone has over 7 million users between Chrome and Edge. But it doesn't stop there. The scheme is way broader. It includes something called one-click VPN, a browser guard, and even an ad blocker. And they all have the same nasty code hidden inside. So yeah, the number of extensions is definitely concerning. But when you start adding up all the users, the total number of people who could be affected is just staggering. This was not some small niche operation, not at all. All told, we're talking about more than 8 million people who have installed these tools. That is a gigantic pool of private and, potentially really sensitive data just being scooped up, and nobody knew a thing. So you gotta ask, why? What's the end game here? What's the motive? Well, this is the crucial part. COE's report connects the dots, and they found that urban cybersecurity is linked to a data broker called Bioscience. And if you know anything about data brokers, you know their entire business is buying and selling information. And this slide, this really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? On one side, you've got your private AI chats. That's your thoughts, your questions, your ideas, maybe even really sensitive personal stuff or company secrets. And then on the other side, that same data is being bundled up, turned into a product, and sold for cash, all without you ever knowing or agreeing to it. Your privacy literally becomes their product. And all of this really just brings us to one final, pretty unsettling thought. I mean, if one company can pull this off, building a data harvesting operation on this massive scale, affecting millions of us, and do it so easily, it really makes you wonder, right? Who else is watching?